Whew, all right, good morning. Welcome back. Today, this is probably gonna be one of the coldest days I've ever been out fishing. It's gonna be really windy, and the temp gauge in my car said 36 all the way here. As you can see, there's some of the lake is frozen there. That chunk of the lake over there is frozen. Enough of it is available, so we should be able to make it work. This will be my very first time taking the Humminbird to my local lake. I fished this lake, I don't know, well over 100 times at this point, and always have wondered what it looks like at the bottom. And I've really been wondering these last few months, where the heck are all the bass at? So today we're going to try to use this thing to find some bass on the lake that I have not caught any bass on all winter. We'll see if we can make something happen. Let's go ahead and get her fired up here. Last time we came out, we went out to a different lake, and I finally caught a bass. Finally did it. Finally caught my first winter bass. And it has been tricky. It took 13 tries to do it. The 14th try, we finally found one. Water temperature this morning, we got 39 degrees, 37 degree air temperature. We got a bunch of wind coming in. There's a chance of some rain. There's a chance of some snow. It's gonna be tricky. I'm dressed as warm as possible today. This is as good as I can do for now. Maybe before my next outing, it's time to upgrade some of a better base layer, I guess. Let's go ahead and start making our way around the lake here. See if we can figure out where these guys are. We got the 2D on here. Let's go ahead and we'll do the 2D and the side view. And let's start moving around the lake a little bit, see if we can find anyone. Based off the water temperature, that these guys should be out at some of the deeper points of the lake, hiding out somewhere. So far, I don't see anything. Yeah, just a bunch of grass down there. Interesting. Yeah, so I didn't really have any grass on the other lake we were fishing at, so I didn't get a chance to see what that looks like. But yeah, I thought that was just a big steep thing there. But oh, got one fish popping up there, a couple fish popping up right there. Could be trout, but the fact that they're hanging out right on that grass line right there, they're at two and a half feet. Both of those guys are hanging out at. There's another one down in the grass there too. So this initial lap that we're doing is just kind of maybe finding a few spots where there are some fish. So this is good to know. There's a bit of a shallow spot there where a ridge comes out. We got 3 bass that showed up right there, most likely bass based off of where they're hiding in the grass there. So we'll come back to that spot in a bit, but since they're so shallow, we're going to go ahead and just keep on moving. Starting to get some grass things showing here, but we got a lot of fish popping up all of a sudden. We got 1, 2, 3. Interesting. So yeah, we're in about 10 feet of water right now, and there's, yeah, three or so bass hanging out over here. So we got 2 spots already that we can really focus some time fishing on today. There's another one. Go ahead and show you guys here. That's a huge one. That's probably the biggest fish I've seen pop up on the fish finder. Let's go ahead and show you guys that in the full screen there. So far it looks like all the bass are held up in the grass lines. Huge grass line over here, big grass line over there, and there's a ton of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bass. Try to sneak through here as quietly as possible, and then yeah, we're gonna come back to this in a little bit. All right, so we made our way around the whole edge of the lake over here. There's still some stuff over on that side. It's kind of frozen over there though, so I think we got our hint of where the fish are. I'm now going to make my course straight through the lake, and we're going to hit up some of the deeper spots on my way. See if there's anyone hiding out there. See if I can find any. If so, that might be where I kind of start off today, is out in the deep water. Like, no wonder I have been skunking so much, you know. I think at both lakes that I've been at, it seems like there's only really like 2 spots where the bass are hiding out at. Let's focus on fishing where we know they are, and let's see if we can just adjust the lures accordingly until we get one. But yeah, there's nothing out anywhere on the lake right now. We just did an entire lap around the whole lake. Took us about 44 minutes, probably about 40 or so minutes of actual time. Cameras were rolling a little ahead of that, but yeah. Takes about 30 to 40 minutes to scope out the entire lake and find out where you should be fishing. Cool. All right, here we go. Let's give this a go. We are going to start with this little tiny spinnerbait. We are going to be battling this wind today. This is going to be really something. Some of these fish were at like 2.5 feet. I'm going over. Trying to do this as slow as possible. I think I'm probably going too fast already, but we're going to keep slowing it down. I know a jerkbait is another definitely recommended lure for this situation. Definitely something I'll probably be trying at some point today. But I figured we'd go ahead and just start with this for now. We got an otter over there. I don't think an otter is going to go after my spinnerbait, but we got to be careful anyways to try to keep an eye on him. Throw the spinnerbait in this spot up here, or I want to go to the wacky worm. On the wacky worm, I got a 1/16 ounce weight. I'm kind of gonna just try a very, very, very slow retrieve. Try to keep that worm just chilling right at the grass line. We'll give a few more casts at this wacky worm, and I think it's time to switch to the ultimate finesse setup I got. We'll get out the that little trout worm that we caught a bass on the other day. Surprised we haven't caught something. I kind of thought that throwing this wacky worm right where we found him was going to be the ticket. But all right, well, we've thrown the spinnerbait, which was my first idea. We threw the wacky worm, which was my second idea. Let's move on to our third idea. As I keep saying, we know where they are. Just got to figure out what they want to bite. All right, we're going to move back in there. We're going to use this little trout worm. This is what we caught a bunch of fish on last time we were fishing. Got a bunch of crappie on it. Got a good feeling. We got a little bit of wind. We got a battle, which is going to be tricky. This is not exactly the best lure for this kind of windy condition, but it's the only thing that's been catching anything. So I feel like if we get back in there, if I fish this just right, my only concern with it is it's not weedless. That line right there, that's that little finesse worm showing up nice and clearly on the 2D. We're trying to get ourselves back over that fishy spot. We can try to use the 2D to avoid the grass line. Well, we're seeing a lot of fish on the fish finder. This is definitely the spot where they're hanging out at. So far, I have not been able to figure out what to make them bite on. I really thought that this little worm would be something. I've kind of tried the jigging method right underneath the 2D, and it really helps me see where the grass line is, and I'm able to just kind of maneuver this little trout worm at the depth that I want and kind of work around the that one. We got a bass. We did it. Come on now. Oh, it's a trout. Yeah, that's a trout. Putting up a little fight. Oh, we caught something. That's good. Well, hopefully they're not all trout over here. He's putting up a fight. Alright. Gonna let him tucker himself out a little bit. Man, I tell you, fishing with an ultralight rod is so fun. This is too cool. This guy is really just putting up the fight of his life here. £6-pound line, tiniest little hook in the world. All right, I think he's ready. Let's go ahead and... Well, we got a trout. All right. Off you go, little bud. Nice trout. Off he goes. Says they're over here still. Another trout. This is a really, really big trout. Definitely, I think, might be the biggest I've caught in this lake. Oh, this will be tricky. Got him. Huge trout. Huge trout. Alright, well, I gotta hold this guy up. It's so huge. Look at the size of that one. Back you go. Definitely the biggest one I've ever caught in the lake. That is crazy. I can't believe he was as easy to reel in as he was. That smaller one I caught earlier put up way more of a fight. Alright, well, probably just a bunch of trout out here then. I think we just caught the biggest trout in this lake though. That was huge. That was big. I had to hold him up. But that's 2 trout in this corner. We saw so many fish on the fish finder. I think it's probably safe to assume that we are looking at a big old school of trout hanging out in this whole side over here. That's something. Feels like a trout. Alright, another good sized trout. Off you go, bud. Well, First time bass fishing in the snow. I got the dry suit on, but I did not dress warm enough for this at all underneath. My fingers are freezing and my toes are freezing. Still no idea where the bass are hiding out on this lake. Probably the only lake I can fish at for a bit since, well, I think all the other ones are frozen right now. It's kind of a miracle that this one isn't. But, so cold. How incredibly beautiful. This is getting too cold too quickly. But oh, I love the snow so much. I was thinking we weren't going to see any snow. It was looking pretty unlikely for a moment. Curious to see if this little change in the weather might get the bite to change up. Oh boy. Well, I did say I'd come out whether it was rain or shine. Didn't think there was going to get much snow. This is crazy. I am shivering uncontrollably at this point. Maybe it's providing some nice action on the lure. Alright, well, I could not possibly be any colder, so we're gonna go ahead and call that the video for today. Caught a bunch of trout, found a bunch of fish on the fish finder. Don't think I located any bass yet. Don't know where they are. I just have no idea. We'll come out in a few more days and try it again. Looks like this is the kind of weather we're going to be dealing with for the next few days. I'm going to get some sort of warmer attire. For now, I am currently freezing. I'm so cold. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.